Hi guys, this is Leela. Welcome to my channel Leela WebDev. So now let's try to, in this tutorial, what we'll try to do it is, we will try to implement or otherwise copy a file without using the streams. And then we will try to implement using the streams, not Node.js streams. We will try to implement our own streams. So that means implementing our streams. Up to now we have consumed the streams. Now we need to implement our own streams. How to implement it? So before implementing our own streams, so how we can copy a file in the Node.js without using the streams, let's try to do it. So I will try to explain you this one in this video. So that means in this one, we will learn how to copy the files. But what is the twist? We are going to do it without using the streams. So in this video, we will walk through reading and writing files in a naive way. So that means in a primitive way, we will try to see it. Running into some serious memory issues, understanding execution time versus memory usage, and wrapping it with some golden nuggets on algorithm complexity. Let's try to do it. These are all the things. So first one, what I will try to do it is, so here we are having a simple thing. So let's try to open the copy. Let's try to close these all the things. Okay, I will try to close these things. Let me close. So here I will be creating in the streams, I will be creating a new folder that is nothing but copy. Okay, in this copy folder, I will create a new file that is nothing but copy.js file. So just we need to copy, so one file from source file to the destination file. So for this one, what we will try to do it is, so now also, so we will either use a small text file or paste a bunch of text to make it little bigger. For now, let's keep it reasonable. So we'll try to copy let's try to take a simple file that is nothing but what we can say is in writable. So we will be having a text file, right? So now let's try to copy this one, okay, and paste it here. I'm pasting it here, test.txt file. So I have pasted it here. Let's try to close it. Let's see how much file size it is. Streams in the copy, if you try to check it, test.txt, it is around 3 MB, I am thinking so. Let's check the properties for this one. So if I try to check yeah, it is around 3 MB. So it's just a small file. I am copying this one. So let's go into this. Okay. So now let's try to write the code. So here I will be constant fs is equal to require of fs/promises. So I will be using this one, and I will be using the AF function that is nothing but immediately invocable function async of like this, and here I will write it like this. Now let's try to implement it. So now here I will create a destination file. Destination file is equal to fs or otherwise await fs dot open of. So here I will write destination file or otherwise text-copy dot txt, and I want to open this one in a write mode. So this is a simple way how we can do it without using the streams. Now read the source file. So here I will be using constant result is equal to await fs dot read file, and in this one what I will be trying to do, so I need to copy the test.txt file, okay, which is of around 3 MB. So now here what you will be trying to, I will try to explain you this one all. So now here what we will do here, so what we would be trying to do it is, so here I will try to copy destination file. Let's try to see the console.log of results. So what would be the output for this one? Okay. So now if you try to see the console.log of result, so here we are using the read file. If you try to use the read means, then it is a different thing. It will use the, no, so if you use the fs.copy, so you can say that simply copying from this to this one, right? We can use fs.copy. So don't use that fs.copy. Why? Because that fs.copy still uses the streams behind the concept. So that's why we want to implement the concept without using the streams. So that's why I am doing this scenario. If you use fs.copy means that one behind the scenes it will do the same stream concept only. So that's why. So let's try to see what could be the output for this one. So let's go to the copy cd copy, and here I will write node copy.js file. So here the read file has given you completely 38844 something like that bytes of data. So that means the complete data is written as a buffer. So now what we need to do, so we need to write that buffer in the destination file. So that means here I can say that destination file dot write. Okay, so write, it will take the buffer. So here I can do the result. So directly buffer you can write it, and here I can use the await. That's it. So now if you try to do the code for this one, so immediately the file has been copied. So here what we have did, so first of all we have used fs.promises to work with the files asynchronously. So this is the concept. So first we open the destination file we are writing, then we read the source file using the fs.read file. Finally we write the destination to the finally we write the result to the destination file. So that is simple, and it works this one like this. So now if you run this, now here we have just once this one we have just copied the file. That's it. So now let's talk about the real world usage. So this approach reads the entire file into the memory at once. For small sizes like test.txt or something like that, this is fine. But what happens if you try to something bigger? Let's say we have a file, something like a big file which is around 10 GB or 5 GB more. So what will happen? Let's try to see it. So 5 GB or 10 GB more file we have in our let's say streams in the readable. So file hyphen huge, I think it is around 5 GB. So let's copy this one and let's go to the copy, and I will try to paste it here, file hyphen use, and it is copying. So now let's try to copy this file hyphen use which is around 5 GB. So let's try to copy this one. So go into our here, and here I want to change it to file hyphen huge.txt file. So let's try to run the code. So now if you try to run the code, boom, so we got an error. So it has crashed with an error like file size should be greater than 2 GB, and even if it doesn't crash, your RAM will suffer. Let's test the next one. So now what we need to do, it is telling that the file should not be greater than 2 GB. Okay, so fine, let's try to take it file which has an 1 GB file. Let's go to our streams, and in the writable, so we have a file which is around test-1 GB, which is around 1 GB of data. So let's try to copy this file 1 GB. So let's copy this file and go to our code, and here I want to do test-1 GB. Okay, test-1 GB.txt file. So this is the thing. So now we have updated it, and now here what I want to do it is, so rest I want to do console.time of copy, and I will try to do console.time end of copy. So I will try to keep these two things. Okay, done. So now fine, so let's try to copy this one. So now if I try to copy this one, how much time will it take? It has to cover something. Oh, it is taking so much time for me. Let's try to see it. So it took around 4 seconds to copy the file. So let's try to run it again. So if you try to run it again, let's try to see it in the activity monitor what it is happening. See, it has went to 1 GB. So the memory has went to 1 GB. If you try to see it again, the memory has been went to 1 GB. It is going. So 1 GB it is going, and that means what it is doing. So it is copying the entire file into the memory, and it is doing it. So fine. So now here, so what we have did, the problem with this approach is, okay, fine, it is working, but it is using a lot of memory. It fails with the large files, and also it is not scalable. Even if it takes under 1 second or something like under 5 seconds, the space complexity is terrible. It takes about 1 second, the time complexity is less, but the space complexity is terrible. So that means it is taking too much memory. So as developers, especially in performance critical tasks, we should care about two things. One is time complexity, and another one is the space complexity. Time complexity means how fast our code runs, and space complexity means how much memory it uses. Here the time complexity is 5 seconds. Okay, fine. So 1 GB file means that depends on your system, and the space complexity is taking is around 1 GB. So that's a linear complexity, something like big O of n in both time and space. Now if we copied a file twice as big means we need twice the RAM. This is often why we often refer to as big O of n notation. So big O of n means something like linear, big O of n square means it is quadratic. So like this, big O of log n means logarithmic. So we use this to benchmark the performance of the code, not just for interviews, but to write better, faster and learning software. So fine, so that is all about the theory. So just I want to tell you, so if you want to learn more about these algorithms and data structures, means as a developer, as a programming skills, in order to improve your programming skills, these things are must. So these algorithms and data structures, these concepts will teach you how to write efficient code, how to manage your resources better, how to analyze the trade-offs in performance. So that's it guys, what I want to explain you about this concept. Without using the streams we have did it. What is happening, it is doing more task, okay. So it is taking more memory, and also it is taking the space, the time complexity also, it's fine that one, but the space complexity it was terrible. So that means what at the end of the session what I want to release, yes, you can copy the files without streams, but it is not ideal for the larger files. Your RAM usage explodes, it crashes beyond 2 GB. If your file is about 2 GB means it crashes. Always consider the space and time complexity also. In the next video what we will try to do is we will try to achieve the same concept by implementing the streams on our own. We will not use the Node.js streams, we will try to implement our streams on our own, so that we will be implementing our own streams. That's it guys, make sure to like, subscribe and hit that bell icon so that you don't miss these all important concepts in the Node.js. Let me know in the comments, have you ever run into memory issues like this while working with the files? So drop your thoughts or questions below. See you in the next one. Happy coding.